Pro Boxing Fans here with the one and only Spencer Fearon. Spencer, it's been a long time since I've seen you. Where have you been? What's been going on in your life?
Just major things with MTK Global Foundation. So I've been doing a lot of jet setting. Just come back from Dubai. We did like a meet and greet with Stormzy, which was absolutely fabulous. So got to big up all of Team Stormzy, all these guys that ran in flips. Trevor, big boy security guard, JJ. Yeah, I had a fantastic time out there. Now I'm back home, but because I've gone away already, I wasn't allowed to go to the Tyson Fury versus Wilder. I'm under the thumb, mate. You know what I mean? 4 kids, mate.
Just talk to me about your role at MTK and what you actually do for them. For a lot of people who don't know what you do.
Basically, it's like the foundation's been set up now. It's coming up for its 2nd year. And what the foundation does, we go out, we try to help as many underprivileged people that we can. So we do a lot of children's hospice, a lot of kids in hospital. We go out and visit. We do we got a big roster of fighters, so they come along with me certain times when we go make surprise visits into hospitals to meet people and stuff like that. And it's just generally to make people feel good about themselves. So it's them kind of things, and also like to. What was it? Muhammad Ali famously said, like, service is the rent that we pay for the space that we take up on earth. So because of that, then yeah, so that's what we roll with, man.
Let's talk about why we're here. It's an MTK show, the Golden Contract. I speak to a lot of the fighters and they love the concept, they love the tournament, they love everything about it. Just talk to me about what you see in regards to this tournament and sort of the fights that it's putting out, because this potentially could be one of the best domestic cards that we've seen so far, we're going to see for this year.
It is a very, very good card. Looking forward to seeing Walsh fight. Then you got if Jazz Dickens gets through his fight as well, that would be an absolute barn burner. You got O'Hara Davis as well. So it's a good concept, right? But the thing about it is this: is like the major thing is this. From the small beginnings, and I'm gonna be a little bit biased because I actually run the foundation for MTK Global, right? But the amazing thing is, like, me being in the foundation actually has nothing to do with boxing. Okay. It just happens to be a boxing company that has got a foundation, and they were stupid enough to say, "Oh, it's Spence, you run it," right? So me doing that, I'm amazingly grateful for doing that. But looking at for the boxing aspect, I said ages ago, MTK Global going to take over a lot of things, all right? And so said, so done. Like they're big in MMA now with Darren Till. You know what I mean? They're doing something with music right now. They're doing so many different things. So it's a pleasure to be a part of something so successful.
And one of the sort of things that this Golden Contract has sort of proposed is a knockout bonus. So I was talking to a lot of the fighters and they're excited by it. They go that I spoke to Lee Wood. He goes, more things like this should be implemented in boxing. Fight of the night bonus, stuff like this for fighters like this.
Because it's an added incentive to the fighter. You got to think about it. Right, and I knocked him out. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that you're going to actually go out to try and knock the guy out, but if you go get it now, you think, well, I'm going to earn more. You know what I mean? And you got to think about, like, we say, like 95% of boxers globally, yeah, only earn when they fight.
Yeah.
Right? So when we're looking at that, it's saying added bonuses are superb, man. There should be more added bonuses.
Especially for fighters on this level where, you said 95% of fighters only earning when they fight. These sort of fighters are probably only earning when they fight as well. Yeah. Not everyone's Anthony Joshua, not everyone's a Tyson Fury.
But what I do have to say is this, MTK Global pay good,
Yeah.
Trust me, they pay good, man. So, you know what I mean?
Let's talk about MTK's biggest star, Tyson Fury, flown out to Las Vegas in the biggest fight of 2020, could potentially remain the biggest fight of 2020. Talk to me about the first fight. Everyone I've spoken to had it Tyson Fury's way. How do you see that first fight playing out?
The first fight, I still think Tyson Fury won the fight, but if you go back and watch the fight, it wasn't as wide as how I had it. I had it really, really wide because you've got to take into consideration 2 knockdowns, right? So I could see why it could have happened to be a draw. You know what I mean? Because, like, it's what style of fighting that you may wanna like. And if you're seeing somebody like Deontay Wilder who was aggressing right throughout the whole fight, Tyson Fury, mad skills. He's got skills in abundance, right? So when you're seeing that, then Tyson Fury in my eyes, still won the fight.
Yeah.
Right? But it was a lot closer than when I was like, oh, what a robbery. Oh, I was going nuts. But when you sit down and watch it now, it was a close fight. And I think it was good that it was given a draw in hindsight because they made the rematch. They made the rematch has come into play. Because what could have happened is Tyson Fury could carry on fighting guys like Wallin, walk around and say I'm the lineal champ, right? And Deontay Wilder, they could keep on regurgitating somebody like a Lewis Ortiz for him to just knock out, he just line you up with that right hand. So I'm glad that fight has happened. And what both men should be commended for is the keenness to go and be active in fighting who they supposedly see as the best counterpart to them.
What do you make of Tyson Fury saying that he's going to knock out Deontay Wilder in the second round? He's given a bold prediction, said second round I'm going to knock him out. What do you think's going on in his mind when he says something like that?
You know what? Anybody over 14 stone that hits you on the chin probably gonna knock you out.
Yeah.
So him saying that, maybe he has to say that to G himself up, to set your goal. He's setting a goal, and you know what I mean. But do I think it's a ludicrous statement? I was saying, when's the last time Tyson Fury knocked out a caliber opponent, right? A world-ranked top 10 opponent inside 3 rounds? So, exactly. So, right, I think Tyson Fury has an abundance of skill, and if he sticks to a game plan, I could see Tyson Fury stopping Deontay Wilder anywhere between 9 and 11 rounds.
So you can see a stoppage?
I can see a stoppage. I can't see an early stoppage. I can see that.
What do you make of the training change for such a big fight? We know that him and Ben Davison sort of had this good relationship.
This is no disrespect to Ben Davison. I like Ben. I think he's good. But I think the problem with Ben, he actually brought in Freddie Roach. And then Freddie Roach, after the fight that Tyson Fury had with Deontay Wilder, had derogatory things to say about him. And people are looking at you like, who's this little young whippersnapper? Everybody is where they're meant to be, right? And if you fast track yourself to that position, I'm not saying that he's not a good trainer, he is, but you got to earn your stripes. And unfortunately, he hasn't earned his stripes. He's been thrown into the deep end. But I give him his dues because he sacrificed time and money and energy to be around Tyson Fury. Like he lived in his house. So he showed his dedication. But obviously he's saying, well, boy, you know what? Me and you are cool, but I believe that I want somebody with a little bit more experience than you, right? So he's always hit off with Sugar Hill in the past, who's the nephew of Emmanuel Stewart. So he said, right, I'm gonna go work with this guy. So I don't think it's a personal dig at Ben Davison, but usually it takes about 3, 4 fights, 5 fights to get readjusted with a new trainer, right? But I think maybe the difference is, you got to remember, Emmanuel Stewart was a technical guy for fighting, but he was a guy that always liked to close the show. Like if you had your guy and he's urging you to close the show, right? You saw that Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? Vladimir Klitschko versus David Haye. He urges, he implores for fighters, and I think that's the same within Sugar Hill, right? Like it is right. Well, we got him going. Let's close the show. That could be to the detriment of Tyson Fury, especially if we know the punching power and the velocity that is performed by Deontay Wilder. Never follow a puncher, man. You can't take the chance against Deontay Wilder.
There's talks of contractually being a third fight as well. So whilst that third fight happens, Anthony Joshua's sort of, fighting his mandatories, waiting for a fight. So now we've got the fight against Pulev,
It's a good fight.
which firstly seems like a fight that he has to fight. Then there's talks of a fight with Usyk later on this year.
Yeah.
Just talk to me about, firstly, people expect Anthony Joshua to beat Pulev. Is that correct?
Yeah, of course. Listen, but Pulev can fight.
He can.
All right, Pulev can go out. He can rock. We can't go like Pulev lost to Klitschko, right? I remember Pulev handled Derek Chisora handily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Derek Chisora is a rough and tumble human being. So even though Derek had his own personal issues and Don Charles weren't with him and and all the rest of it, but regardless of that, he handled you easily, right? Pulev can be trouble, seriously, because he's got a very well-timed double jab, right? And he fights, he's a very rhythmic fighter as well. You know what I mean? But anyone looking at this thinking like Anthony Joshua's going to bludgeon this guy, he isn't, because now we're seeing Anthony Joshua adding more facets to his technique of boxing. Hence, we saw what he did in the Ruiz fight. So maybe somewhere in his mindset, in the back of his mindset, right, I don't want to get caught right now because I don't want to buckle up or anything else like that. So he's not going out fighting and throwing caution to the winds anymore. So we'll see what Anthony Joshua we see. I still think we're going to see a class performance, mate.
The one that actually intrigues me a lot is Alexander Usyk and how he's going to get on against these big boys. Now, there is that talk that there was a meeting, there was a picture online, Eddie Hearn, Alex, who's Usyk's manager, and Anthony Joshua in a hotel in London. It seems like there's talks going on, and this seems like maybe later on in the year that fight can happen. What do you think Alexander Usyk can do in the heavyweight division?
Judging by his Witherspoon fight, that wasn't really impressive to me. What I've noticed about, you can only go by his pedigree, and the guy he's a good, really, really good fighter. And I was urging Anthony Joshua, he should take that fight sooner rather than later, right? Don't let the guy settle in at the weight and all the rest of it. But you know what? I've seen like Anthony Joshua's like gone on. It's like he's had a spiritual epiphany now. You know, he's out in Nigeria as we speak. You know what I mean? He's being more rounded, more cultured. You know what I mean? And when that gives you an urgency and pride, or an urgency to demonstrate your pride that you've got with your newfound affiliation with Nigeria. So I think we're going to see like Anthony Joshua still be a bit rugged, still trying to look for that knockout, but be cautious while looking for it. Kind of similar to how Lennox Lewis used to progress in his career, like tail end. His last 8 fights, how Lennox was like, he's very calculated, but if you saw an opening to knock you out, he'd knock you out.
I want to talk about somebody you know well, somebody who's, you've grown up with, is Dillian Whyte. Whilst he waits for that green and gold opportunity, the belt he's been waiting for I think 1,000 days now. The talk of the Povetkin fight, it seems like that's been put into place. I think Eddie Hearn last time said that they're just waiting for a date to put it into place. Talk to me about that fight. Dillian Whyte, Povetkin.
Dillian Whyte is going to do a number on Povetkin.
Okay.
Just trust me. He's going to be, you know what? Because he's going to be in shape. Dylan knows he's got something to prove as well. And you know what? And he's watching the right fights as well. So I see Dillian Whyte a late stoppage. It won't be early. It's going to be a very, very late stoppage or a comprehensive points win. But it's going to be rough for the first 3-4 rounds.
What do you make of his situation with the WBC?
I don't want to talk about it no more. I'm literally tired of speaking about that bullshit situation, right? And I don't want to give it no more energy. Cool. It is what it is. What I do know is that Dillian Whyte has the best record in boxing for somebody who hasn't fought for a world title in the heavyweight division, right? He's fought more premier ranked opponents, right, than Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Take out Tyson Fury's Klitschko fight. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? And that's no disrespect to this guy. Give Dillian Whyte his dues, man. Period.
Spencer, always good catching up with you.
Yeah,
Thank
man,
you very much
for
for
know what channel this is on. Because you're always up and about and you're here, there and everywhere. So you go send me that so I can post it out, and I just want to read all the negative comments that I get. But it's all right. Don't worry about it.
Spencer Fearon, thank you very much for talking to me.
I love it.